This is Sang here.
And this is Japan.
And today's podcast, oh my god, it's so special. Can you tell us why?
We are only on our third episode.
Yep.
But we have our first guest already.
Yay! So let's start with the basics. Tell us who you are.
Okay, my name is Asen Oung, and I am a makeup artist. I am a full-time state government employee, and apart from that, I am a makeup artist.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, amazing.
Talk about your hands being full. Girl, how do you manage that,
Always
right?
booked and busy, if you can say. Every day is a busy day.
Yeah. We are so excited to have you here because your journey is really going to be inspiring. It is inspiring for those of us who know you, right? But those of you who are going to be listening to this for the first time, we hope that you will take something from this podcast. This is special, right?
Thank
Let's go in depth, right? So you are a state government employee as well as a makeup artist. How did it all get there?
Well, I feel I've been an artist my entire life. That's how I feel. When I was a kid, as far as I can remember, I loved dancing a lot and drawing and all those stuff that kids love. But as I grew, I realized that I love art. It can be any kind of art, It can be fine art, performing art, music, all of that stuff, And my love for makeup started back in high school. I would remember then I didn't knew that, I had this serious love for makeup. I didn't realize it then. When I look back to it, I feel like I was an artist in the making,
What a journey.
So my friends, they were very good dancers. They were very good performers back in the day, and we had this thing about, we will always be very excited about performing during Teachers' Day and Parents' Day, all those events. So we would always look forward to that. And like I say, my friends were always incredible performers. They would dance, sing, and everything. So it all started backstage. So they would get ready. So they would always ask me to help them out. And somehow, I guess they felt that
Confidence in you?
Yeah, yes. I felt, I think that's, back then that's how they felt, that I was very good with my hands. I would do their makeup. Just equipped with my mom's eyeliner. That was the only makeup that I knew back then. My mom's eyeliner and lipstick and a little bit powder that I've slipped into my school bag. I would do their makeup, and that's how it began. And then college, I got opportunity to attend fashion shows and pageants, and I got more exposure to makeup. I met many makeup artists who were professionally in this field, and it was kind of very inspiring, and I think that motivated me to full-time pursue my passion as a career as well.
So how did it get into you being a servant for the government as well as following your passion? How did that happen?
Well, I've been always a responsible kid in the family. Being the eldest, I've always had this, thing in my head that I have to be successful somehow, at least in my career, so that I can, bring up my siblings, help them out, my family, and everything like that. So though I was very much into pursuing my passion, I also kept in mind to try my best to excel in my career as well. So I would sit for exams, prepare for it. And by the grace of God, I nailed the job that I am working right now. So I'm grateful for this. And I feel that, this is all a divine plan of the Lord, because being in this job had really helped me to accelerate my makeup artistry journey. That's how it is. So I love my job. I love it so much. I never miss an office day. Yet I love my artistry as well. So it is like I'm enjoying two things at a time, and it's awesome. It's really awesome.
Wow.
It's my job. It fulfills my mind, and my passion. It fulfills my heart.
Wow.
So
That's beautiful.
She is really living the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you something which I'm sure that all of our listeners, and we want to know as well, the secret behind what keeps you going. So, what would be that?
if I'll be honest, the only thing that keeps me going is my faith in our Lord, in God. That is what keeps me going, because like everyone else, I see my gray days as well, times when I feel like my makeup is not good enough, and there are so many awesome and incredible makeup artists out there, right? And being a human being, we tend to compare, and there's everything is over the internet, and Instagram has made it so easy for us to peek into each other's lives and what we are doing. So sometimes I do feel insecure, but I don't let that overtake me, because I find joy in the fact that God, He takes pleasure in my art. Look at yourself and look at the world around us. I mean, our God is a great artist. He loves art, right? And then I find motivation and I find joy in the fact that He loves my art. And that motivates me. When I started my artistry, my main focus was I'll do it for the Lord, for His glory. That was my main focus. So that's it. That's what keeps me going. And like I said, there are great days when I don't get bookings, when I feel like I'm not good enough, I have to do more. Insecurity is creeping, and it's normal, and it's okay. It's absolutely normal to feel like that. But things get messy if you let all these negative thoughts and whispers get into your head. That's when things start to get messy and real bad, and I don't let that, at least in me, affect you in any way. So yeah.
I really love when you said that you want to do it for the Lord, because most times when we talk about serving the Lord, we're thinking about serving the Lord in a church or being a leader in a church. Somehow we tie serving the Lord into that area only. But as you mentioned, there are so many ways to serve the Lord.
Exactly.
And you worshiping the Lord and showing Him glory and honor in your passion, in your dream, I think that's something that we can all take from here. That we can, take the worship of the Lord and our love for Him to every places we go.
That's
in
right.
everything that we do.
That's right.
Not just confined in a church,
Back in the day, that is what I used to think myself. I am not much of a good singer.
How did it get there? You thinking like, I want to do this for the Lord. How did it, that
So back in the
mentality?
day, I also had this notion that the only you can worship Lord when you're in the church. That's how you worship, when you sing, or when you can really hymn out a nice present worship song. That's how you praise the Lord or worship Him. That's how I used to think. Or being in a full-time church and ministry is the only way that you can serve the Lord. But later on, as I grew spiritually, I'm still a work in progress, but I realized that no, our work and whatever we do, it can be as normal thing as talking with each other, having a conversation, right? That can be a service, and that can be a worship to the Lord. And the talent that we have, each one of us, He has gifted us unique and beautiful talents, right? So if you use that to glorify Him, that's how you worship. That's how you give your service to Him. That's what you do. So yeah, that's how it is. And one of the greatest motivation would also be the fact that I was bullied a lot when I was a kid for the way I look. And it took me a really long time to accept myself. Okay, and it was very tough, and I started questioning myself, and I started questioning my parents, and I started questioning our God, why He would create me that certain way that He did. And but as I grew up, Lord he changed things in my heart and my perspective of seeing myself. Now I love myself so much. I love myself at the fact that he created me so wonderfully and so perfect in his image, right? So my goal of pursuing my makeup artistry is I love to make people feel beautiful. Most of the people that I work with are people who have never put makeup their entire life. The only makeup they have known is kajal and lipstick, that's it, right? So when they sit in my table and I'm done with them, and when I hand them the mirror, they look at themselves and they're like, wow. Some of them are even in tears. They're like, I've never felt so beautiful.
Wow.
That's what they tell me. And I see myself in them. You know what I mean? It's like my makeup, my artistry is, I took my trauma and turned it into my power.
Wow.
That's what I did.
Wow. Amen. Preach.
So my makeup is my power. This is how I take my power back. Because the trauma that you feel, that you've experienced during your childhood, somehow it carries on even to your adulthood, right?
Yeah.
Now I have overcome it, not completely maybe, but most of it, like 99%. But when you go through so much during your childhood, it always stays with you, a little bit of it. So my makeup artistry, my art is a way of reclaiming my power. So it makes me feel very empowered. It makes me feel liberated. And it's like reclaiming my power all over again. That's what I do. And one thing that was very profound in my entire makeup artistry career was I did makeup on this lady. And she really she really hated herself, the way she looked. Her eyes were, all of us are like monoliths, right? Especially Nagas, but she had this really, I would say, cute tiny eyes. And she would always hate herself so much. She would be like complaining too much about it, and she would say how she was not feeling pretty and all of those sort of things. So I would always, during our conversation, I would always try my best to remind her that she is beautiful the way she is, and there's nothing that I would change about her. So one day we decided to do a makeup session with her. I chose her because I wanted to change her perspective in some way or the other. Okay, I wanted to try to change her perspective about herself. So we sat down for a session, and after our session was done, she was this completely different person. She was so confident. She started loving herself so much. When she saw her look. And, excuse me. And after 2 days, she texted me and said that, I've started loving myself now.
Wow.
That was so powerful and so profound. And it has stayed with me till today.
Wow.
Yeah. And things like that, keeps me going every single day.
So, makeup is not only a tool for you to fulfill your heart, but also help other people fulfill theirs and see the beauty in them.
Exactly.
That's such a beautiful
And you
story.
can't imagine the number of makeups that I've done free of cost, without charging anything. Because, like I said, it's not about the money.
Yeah.
The smile that I get in their face, my client's face, or whoever I work with, okay? We work together, so whoever I work with, when I'm done with them, the smile, the happiness, and the confidence that they regain, come on, nothing can buy that. Money can never buy that thing, right? Those things. So, yeah.
Wow. It's so rare to find someone who has such pure intentions behind her work.
And, it's my dream that one day maybe I'll have a pop-up store where I will just give,
Amen to that.
maybe 10
Amen to
free
that.
makeups. Or,
Wow.
yeah.
Maybe
Like
the
walk
first
in
10.
and avail your free makeup.
Wow.
Before that incident had really changed my perspective in a different direction, in a very broad way. Before, even I being a makeup artist as well myself, though I had my vision to to reclaim my power and also make other people feel beautiful, something that I haven't felt, something I was
Struggling with.
not struggling with and not told about.
Yeah.
That was always my vision when I started it. But after that incident, it had really given me to see makeup in a brand new lens.
That was a really interesting and beautiful insight today.
Yeah.
Now, we want to give this time to you if there's anything that you want to tell our audience, any message that you want to give them for all of us to remember.
For anyone who is out there, trying, working on your dreams, it can be anything, it can be anything. I'm not just talking about artistry or any particular passion of that sort, but it can be anything, whatever you are doing in your life. When we plant a seed, you just can't expect it to grow fruits the next day. You don't, right? When you plant a seed, you need to water it. And when you water it, first it will take roots. And once it takes roots and it makes this strong hole in the ground, that's when it will sprout. And after it sprout, it will take time to bloom. And that's when, fruits will eventually, start appearing. And that's how it is, many of times we tend to start one thing. We are so driven by the world around us, by what the other people are doing, our friends are doing. The first thing first is recognize your own power, what you're good at. Don't let emotions drive you, Don't let the fame or money drive you, but recognize what you are good at. And brush that up, work on that, day and night, doesn't matter. Don't listen to naysayers. People will always come in and try to give their 2 cents. They always did to me. And then if you give in to them, then the spark that you have inside you, before it even becomes a big fire, it will burn out. And you don't want that, right? So a seed takes time to bear its fruit, but it's okay. Just because you don't see the plant overground doesn't mean that it's not growing underground.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. What beautiful imagery they have given.
Yeah. So once you have planted your seed, don't
That's
give
so
up.
True.
Don't give up until you see the fruits, because the underground, God is working, okay? He's working. So in your time of solitude, when you will experience gray days, and when you will experience those days of when you feel like nothing is happening, a lot is happening actually. So it's very important to keep that in mind and keep on doing what you do, and success will eventually follow.
So Asen, Oung, thank you so much for joining us in our podcast.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Sharing with us your incredible journey. We hope that our listeners have learned and been inspired a lot, just as we were.
Yes.
So if there is anyone who wants to know more about her and her work, we have mentioned her on our description on Spotify, and we will also tag her on our Instagram page, Webstart, so you can come to our Webstart Instagram account and find her, Your Glam Artist. That's her Instagram page.
All right, then we'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for listening to us.